Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And as we mark day 2 of Chuck Schumer's shutdown, we know that there is a very straightforward way out of this, and that is for Senate Democrats to join with Senate Republicans and vote for the bill that opens up the government and allows negotiations to continue. Surely by opening up the government again, it doesn't resolve all of our differences, but it allows us to negotiate without Chuck Schumer holding the American people hostage. That's really what's going on here. You know, we had a vote on this House floor 2 weeks ago, and 99% of House Democrats voted to shut the government down. Led by their leader, Hakeem Jeffries, whipped their members to vote to shut the government down. And so they're running around this town right now doing podcasts and trying to be commentators. They're doing everything but being legislators. When they had an opportunity to actually govern, House Democrats voted to shut the government down. And now that the government shut down, they're trying to blame somebody else for what they did. They voted to do this. They can get bailed out by Senate Democrats. The bill is still sitting over in the Senate. And so rather than trying to figure out who to assign blame to, what they should do is go over to the Senate, talk to their Senate Democrat counterparts and say, Senate Democrats, Chuck Schumer, open up the government again. And then let's have a negotiation over our differences. President Trump, you saw Vice President Vance as well saying, we will negotiate, but not while you're holding hostages of the American people. There are real differences we can negotiate. You know, they want to talk about all the Obamacare increases in premiums that they caused families. Obamacare is the health care law of the land, and it's leading to higher premiums for families. There are a lot of conversations that people can have about how to fix those problems. Throwing hundreds of billions of new taxpayer dollars to things like funding illegal alien health care is not the answer to that problem. And it surely is not the reason for Democrats to be shutting down the government. And yet that's what they're doing. Some of their own leaders have confirmed that's why they're shutting down the government. And it's unacceptable to most American people who just want the government to work for them and deserve that. And we had a vote on the House floor. You can go look at that vote and see that over 99% of Democrats voted to shut the government down. It's a real vote that we held, and that bill is still sitting in the Senate. We stand ready to negotiate on a lot of differences. We are in a conference committee right now on 3 of the appropriations bills, and Tom Cole and his appropriators have passed all 12 of the bills out of committee. John Thune, to his credit, changed course from the old days of Chuck Schumer when Chuck Schumer ran the Senate and didn't bring any of the appropriations bills out of committee. They're now moving those bills in the Senate, and so we can have a broader negotiation on how to properly fund government, how to properly set priorities over funding government, which, by the way, shouldn't be complicated. It's what every family does sitting around their kitchen table. They figure out how to properly budget their households. Businesses do this all the time. A small business, whether it's good times or bad, has to sit down and figure out how to make the budget work. Washington needs to do the same thing. And that means House Democrats and Senate Democrats need to stop holding temper tantrums, stop making $1.5 trillion demands for illegal alien funding, and vote to open up the government, release the hostages, and let's go get back to a negotiation over what the priorities of this country really should be. President Trump has proven he's ready to negotiate again. He brought all the leaders to the White House just a few days ago. He stands ready to resolve this, but the ball's in Chuck Schumer's hands right now. He has chosen to shut down the government, and he can't articulate any real reason except that they want to take things like $50 billion away from rural hospitals to fund health care for illegals. And the Speaker laid it out incredibly clearly. It's not some hypothetical. Chuck Schumer filed an alternative government funding bill, and it includes getting rid of all the verifications on things like making sure illegals can't get those taxpayer-funded benefits. They want illegals to get free health care benefits, and they're willing to shut the government down to do it. That's not where the country is. It's surely not why we should be here right now. But we stand ready to work. We've done our job in the House. It's time for the Senate to do their job and end this madness. Keeping our members tied together, united, focused on what we need to do is our whip. Tom Emmer.
Finished.